today, I have tremendous guilt for the things that I've taken away from her and things I've taken away from the family. But the love that she has showed me throughout these last, almost this last year, again, it's totally unbelievable that God could allow someone to be like that and to show that love towards me. I know there's times when she's mad at me and she's, she can think nothing but, the pain that I caused her. But I know in my heart that she loves me, and she shows that to me every day. For our anniversary, which was really only 3 months after things had happened, I came home, and as an anniversary present, she had done something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and she hung my TV up on the wall. And that wasn't an easy thing for her to do. She didn't do it by herself, but she took the time because she knew that's what I wanted. And she loved me so much that she made that happen, and she did that for me. I wasn't expecting anything. I didn't deserve anything. But the fact that she was able to do that, and even still today, the things that she does for me that I just think she doesn't have to, she shouldn't. It's the love that I feel from her. That again, it's just totally unbelievable. And I know there's only one person behind the whole thing, and that's God. And you just see what He has done in our lives through her. I had the support of the church. Believe it or not, I thought my world was being turned upside down. I was, if I was going down and we were eventually going to separate, how could I go back to the church? I couldn't do that. Couldn't see these folks. Sharon needed them. She needed to have those people there for her. I didn't know how I could do it, but I remember Mike setting up meetings with various folks, talking to folks like, Bill Pollock, just being there for me in only a way Bill can look at you and say, what happened? Nobody really judging, just trying to understand what happened, what's the story, how can we fix this? I remember I wasn't going to go to church that first Sunday I was back. I'd come back on a Sunday from the trip, and then it had basically been a full week, and I thought, I'm going to get up and go. And I remember staying at a friend's house that was 40 miles away, and I remember rushing to get to the church because I had to be there. And I sat with Sharon that day, and we both cried most of the day, most of the time during the sermon. But even before that, when I walked in, just the people there that were there for me, hugging my neck, saying, hey, we're here for you. And I think being involved with the church and being in the life groups and being just helping out and just kind of making a name for myself there, and people knowing who I was, me taking those chances years ago to get to know those people really helped me and helped with, people showing their love for me. Church was over, and I remember Mark Adams he was as close to me as anybody can get, just a few inches from my face and just looking at me, and it's like, it's going to be okay. We're going to do, we're praying for you. You're going to do this. We're going to make this happen. Eventually I would move back home. Eventually I would move back out because I wasn't doing the right thing. And I was gone that time for about 3 to 4 weeks, and that was tough. And I think when things finally hit me was when I had flown back home to be with my parents. I was too cheap to find a hotel. I remember getting so ticked off at Mike because he wasn't helping me. You're supposed to help me find a place to live, and he wasn't doing that. Looking back, who did I think I was that Mike had to do that for me? That's just one thing I thought he should have done at the time, but there's no reason I should have felt that towards him. After all, he was still trying to do for me and helping him. And he was the one that was there that first night and helped Sharon get through that first night when she first found out. But it was a love-hate relationship there, I think, with Mike. It was tough love, but it was good. It was good for me. I mean, I remember being away down at my parents' house and just thinking, my sister was there with her family and everyone was there with their kids, and I'm looking around and I have nobody but me. My sister knows kind of what's happened. My mom and dad obviously know what's happened. And I remember walking into the back bedroom where I was staying and just kind of lying and saying, well, I'm going to go take a nap. And I really went in there and I was crying because I shouldn't have been there without my family. There's no way I should have been at my folks' home without my family being there, and it was wrong for me to do that. And that's when it really hit me of what I had done and where my selfishness had got me. I didn't the guilt that I felt at that time, the things that I took away from my wife. It started with the work trips before, drinking, just kind of hanging out with folks and talking about things you probably shouldn't be talking about, and get to know people better than you should probably ever know a work colleague. And then it just kind of led up to the ultimate sin there, in just having that affair. So I came back from my parents' house, was bound and determined we were going to make this work. Saw Sharon, told her, I'm in this, I'm committed. The counselor kept asking, we were going to see counselors, separate at the time. And he's like, you need to make a decision as to if you're committed to this on a scale of 1 to 10. What is your commitment? And you need to make that commitment, and you need to do everything you can to get to that 10, where you've got everything invested in this. I was wrapping up my degree. I was able to cut back on my travel schedule. We were able to start going to family counseling. I did move back in about a month later, right before Thanksgiving. Things were tough. We were getting involved with a life group again. We were really starting to connect. Communication was the biggest thing that had been lacking in our marriage, and we were really starting to talk to each other, to sit down and read devotionals with each other. I was going to a D group at the time. Sharon was involved with D groups. We were seeing the counselor once a week. So we really started making some progress. And it's still, today, it's still tough. It's been almost a year since things happened. We still, go to counseling. We still have our, issues with it. There are things that I took away from my family that I never thought possible. You can just, simple things, songs on the radio that you can't listen to anymore because they could be about drinking, or they could be about people going out and having a good time. TV shows, just doesn't matter what shows you're watching. I guarantee you, somewhere along the line, a plot line is going to come up with someone cheating on somebody, or someone doing something they shouldn't be doing. It's just things like that. It's conversations that you just hear people having. Even as recently as just a few weeks ago, I remember going out to eat with some people, and a couple of guys were standing there talking, and he made the comment, you can look, but you can't touch. No, you can't look. When you start looking, that's the path that you're heading down. What you think of as a simple path, by just looking at somebody or looking at somebody in the wrong way, it's going to lead. As long as you look at it, one day you're looking, the next day you're touching, the next day you're doing what you don't need to be doing. And it is all about the path that you're going down. It's about where you need to be. As noble as you think your intentions are, it truly is like a slow fade in a way. You start down a certain path, and then before you know it, you're totally down a different direction.